Quick reminder, the Diamond Dig, annual Diamond Dig, will start on this show, you guys, on February 5th. That way it'll give you and 5 other listeners a chance to qualify to win a diamond ring from Neil Allen Fine Jewelry. That'll be at Pastry Perfection. The big show is February 13th, a Friday. Just stay tuned. More information coming. You can find it all at KTIK.com. So a couple of things we're dancing around with right now, Prater. Who's the best player on this Boise State basketball team? Are we still asking ourselves that question? 208-424-9300, Bronco basketball fan. We're still asking that question. Help us. And then this thing flying around the NFL, water coolers. Bill Belichick not in the Hall of Fame on the first ballot, looking like the pretty girls are keeping him out of the Hall of Fame for 1 year because they have the power, and it's turning into mean girls in the high school cafeteria room right now as far as the Hall of Fame voters are going, Prater. Lots we're dealing with now. 208-424-9300. Give us a call. You can talk about any issue. We're going to have fun with both. Mike Prater, best basketball player on Boise State right now, tonight, is
Andrew Meadow, and has been all season long. And yes, he's had some ups and downs, and I don't always like the way that they use him. I don't like the way that he checks out of basketball games every now and then. A couple of these losses, when they went into that 1-4, 1-5 funk, there was a couple of games where he wasn't getting up some shots, and that's unacceptable. When you're the best player on the basketball team, and it's not like it's a runaway. There's three legitimate candidates here for the best player on the basketball team. We've even had other people talk about maybe a player number 4 and even a player number 5, but it comes down to 3 dudes. It's really, really tight. I like Andrew Meadow because statistically across the board, he leads Boise State in more categories than anybody else. I think he's gotten a little bit more consistent and a little bit more dominant in conference play. If you look at his conference stats, I just think he's the guy on this team that knows where the bodies are buried. He's been with this program. He's the leader of this program. He's not always the greatest leader. And again, maybe that goes to some of the deficiencies in his game or the inconsistencies. But in my mind, Andrew Meadow is the best basketball player on this team.
208-424-9300. Is Mike Prater right as usual? No. Or is Mike Prater wrong as usual?
Yes.
I want your opinion. Taco Bell hotline. Greg Frank, last time we talked about this, I feel like we could ask this conversation or have this segment every week, Greg, and we might have a different player every week.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of felt like Dylan Andrews against Colorado State was really leading the charge in getting this team out of its funk. But Dylan Andrews was a big reason why they got in their funk to begin with. So I'm going to look at Drew Fielder, who I feel like has been the most consistent guy all season long. Last few games, he's really starting to rebound better. 8 boards against Air Force, 9 in Laramie, 8 against Colorado State. Can stretch the floor when he's asked to and at least keep defenses honest. Not that three-point shooting is his bread, but he's at least a potent outside shooter. Really scores in a variety of ways. As I said, rebounding, getting better. And this team really doesn't have a big interior defensive presence, so I think he probably needs to take on more of that role as well. Had a couple of blocks in the game against Wyoming. Drew Fielder, top to bottom, I think is probably the best college basketball player on this roster, and I'm sure a lot of Boiseans are happy that he's back after a cup of coffee in Georgetown.
Yeah, and hopefully, I mean, we got a long way to go, but I'm hoping some of these guys, especially like a Drew Fielder, is back on this team next year because he does have another year to play. Good stuff. Is Greg right as usual, or is Greg wrong as usual on that? He thinks Drew Fielder's the best player on this team. I'm going with Javan Buchanan. The stats aren't there, especially in league play because he's battled injuries, but I just like his game. I like his size, and I like that he has guard skills with that size. He had to play in the NAIA where all of a sudden he was like Shaq in that league, but he had guard skills to go with it. And he's been able to take that game to the Mountain West where obviously he's not as dominant. He's not dropping 30 points a night anymore, but that allowed him because he did a lot of inside play in the NAIA. He was a big. Now he still has his inside game, and he can abuse smaller players that guard him. He can't be the force he was at the NAIA, but if he has a smaller player on him, Javan Buchanan can get a shot off. I like defensively, he can guard multiple positions. He hasn't had a percentage that I think is good enough. His shooting, look at him in league. He doesn't shoot the ball well enough. Javan Buchanan, I think, could be the best all-around player on this team, but here we are, guys. We have 3 different answers on this question. And I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I don't think any of us are.
No.
This is an ensemble cast. Prater, you watched the TV show Friends.
No.
There was no star of that show. It wasn't called Seinfeld. It was Friends, Prater. You watched it. You loved it. NBC. You're talking about Friends.
Never saw an episode, but I've seen every episode of Boise State basketball this year, and I know where you're going.
I'm just trying to get you to admit you haven't seen Friends.
I've never seen Friends. I've never seen Seinfeld either. So I did see an episode of Friends maybe a couple years ago.
Craig, were you a Friends guy?
No, not really
okay.
a sitcom guy, but I could do an episode
way before your
Seinfeld.
time. It's 290s, I think, for Gregor over there. But yeah.
And you guys, great arguments, by the way, and I'm ready to switch to both of your guys because I love Drew Fielder. He might be my favorite just by the way he plays. I love his moxie. I love his swagger. I love his, he's got an attitude, and we had a chance to sit down and talk to him, and he's got a really soft nature, Mother Earth side to him as well. So that kind of stuff works for me.
He really loves geography, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Drew Fielder.
Really into that. So I really, really liked him. But, in conference play, Meadow is shooting 62%. Buchanan's only shooting 44%.
I know, man.
That's a significant difference.
Javan's got to put the ball in the hole more. Meadow,
Meadow 60% plus in conference play.
And Meadow's back next year too, right? I mean,
all 3 of these guys are back. Right?
You'd hope. Javan doesn't have another year.
That's right. He's gone too.
He doesn't have another year. Unless there's the Diego Pavia rule, he can say, look, I was playing NAIA. I need another year. And I think he qualifies because I don't think he ever redshirted. He played 2 years at Indiana Lafayette, wherever it was. Indiana Wesleyan, I'm sorry, and then 2 years at Boise State. He should have a Pavia year.
Plus, by the time that another basketball season rolls around, that 5-5 rule may be in play as well. So just giving them
they're kind of all crossing their fingers on that, dude.
100%.
All the guys who are playing right now who are hoping this isn't their last year, but think it might be, are hoping for that ruling to get out so they all get another year. Because it's not going to be retroactive. You're not going to be out and then be able to come back in.
No.
As crazy as college sports are, I don't think that would happen. All right, 208-424-9300. It's the Cloverdale Plumbing text line. Who is the best player on Boise State's basketball team? To you guys, is there anybody out there that actually agrees with this? Bill Belichick, for whatever your reason is, should not be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, because he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer. That is on his tombstone now. That is a part of his NFL, his life, his career legacy. Second all-time wins leader, most playoff wins, most Super Bowls. Guys, quite frankly, known as maybe the greatest football coach of all time. Not getting in on the first ballot. Didn't get enough votes. At least 10 of the 50 voters said no. Why? Do you accept it? 208-424-9300. We'll keep that Taco Bell hotline open. Get in on this conversation. KTIK, the ticket.
From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Studio.